Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. Sometimes prank war means giving lingerie to that bestie of yours, and sometimes it means getting a not-so-temporary face tattoo. Today in the rLounge, who knew prank wars were the ultimate test of relationship stability? Up first, an inside joke reveals the cracks in a relationship. Am I the a-hole for leaving my boyfriend because he brought his female best friend lingerie as a joke? My boyfriend, 28 male, and I, 24 female, have been together for a year and a half. I love him a lot, and he has been pretty amazing to me. He is also the sort of person who has lots of friends, and his close friends are pretty much family. He also loves to joke and play these harmless pranks on his friends, which sometimes makes me feel weird. Just for context, he has 2 female friends and 3 male friends. This is about my boyfriend and one of his friends, Claire, 28 female. Claire is a nice woman, and we are friendly. My boyfriend also has never ignored me in favor of his friends or talked over me in front of them, which is why I don't understand if I'm in the right. They, my boyfriend's friends, had a recently escalated prank fight. I had made it clear to my boyfriend that I am not good at jokes and am rather stiff, and he said he would keep me out of it. Claire, my boyfriend, and another friend, Kyle, 27 male, even had a huge throwing water balloons fight in Kyle's backyard. Then my boyfriend got pranked with dye in his body wash. Then Kyle got pranked by Claire, something about whipping cream and oven mitts. But the issue was when my boyfriend brought a red lacy lingerie set and he planned to put it in Claire's room the next time when he went over. I said it was a tacky prank, and why would he buy lingerie? None of the previous pranks have been of this kind, and it makes me really uncomfortable. I also felt like if I was Claire, I would feel gross about it. But my boyfriend got mad and defensive and told me Claire is cool like that, and she would think it's funny. I admit, I get a bit weirded out when he calls Claire extremely beautiful and jokes about how she has always been way out of his league. But I thought it was nothing, and they were like family. So I guess it was their thing. However, the lingerie prank had me put my foot down, and I said that he was wrong to give another woman lingerie, no matter who, when he had a girlfriend. We fought, and I said I wanted to break up, which he didn't want to, and I said that I was just overreacting. He said that I was too conservative and needed to open my mind when he had never given me a reason to be insecure. Claire called me and said that she and my boyfriend have been friends for a long time, and inside jokes are just that, and I'll learn with more age. I still feel weird about this. My best friend is supportive of me no matter what I do, but I've started to feel like I'm blowing this out of proportion. My boyfriend says that the fact that he told me and didn't hide it from me shows that I'm the problem. I have started to feel like I've blown this out of proportion, and maybe it's my fault. I can't take a joke. I really feel awful about this whole thing. Am I the a-hole? Edit. The people asking what the prank is with the lingerie. Apparently, it's an inside joke about how during their college days, she had some problems with the color red, and the lingerie would have just given her a shock of some kind, I guess. I told my boyfriend it was cruel, but he said it wasn't a trauma thing, just an inside joke. Claire also said over the phone that the lingerie thing was just an inside joke of their college days. Let's see what the community thinks about all this. First up, admit I get a bit weirded out when he calls Claire extremely beautiful and jokes about how she was always been way out of his league. The bolded part is pretty dodgy. Also, at 28, these endless pranks is pretty childish. What a cheek to patronize you. I'm not the a-hole. I'd be moving on personally, meet a man, not a silly little boy who seems to be in lust with his friend. Someone else chimes in, wow, how condescending was Claire? Not the a-hole, and she just confirmed it. One more opinion. My ex-fiancée was gifted lingerie on Friendship Day by her male best friend. I was extremely uncomfortable. We later broke up due to the fact that it turns out he escalated it to sex at some point afterwards. As a man, no man buys a woman underwear unless he wants to see her in it. You don't buy sexy lingerie as a joke gift. The prank war is just an excuse that gives him deniability because he is a coward. Sounds to me like you stuck too close to the truth for his comfort, and he is shocked his perfect deniability plan didn't work. Honestly, OP, if your boyfriend's idea of a good time is buying lingerie for his cool friend and making it seem like you're the problem for not finding it hilarious, then congratulations, you've got yourself a real prize loser. If you're not comfortable with your boyfriend's pranks and his jokes make you question your own sanity, it's not you, it's him. Update. My inbox got flooded with DMs and had to turn off Reddit notifications. When I posted this, I was ready to be called immature and ridiculous and get a couple of comments, but it seemed like the post blew up and the comments were kind of eye-opening. To be honest, before all of this fiasco, my boyfriend has always been nice to me. Came with me to my grad school functions, even though he found them very boring, but would do it so that I could network. He builds stuff like furniture and helps out with handiwork all the time. He is also very funny, and at the very beginning, I thought all his jokes were funny, and I sometimes wondered why he wanted to be with me. Plus, I was always busy with school and job interviews. His mom and I had even gotten close, and she has been saying how happy she was that we were together. I had always ignored his and Claire's weird dynamic because I told myself I was being insecure. I have male friends too, and I thought that just because we aren't like that doesn't mean my boyfriend and Claire can't be close. Claire has also never been outright mean to me. She was just aloof, and I thought it was just because I was new to the group. To the actual update, my boyfriend and I broke up. I'm sorry guys, but even after seeing so many replies on how he was cheating, I refuse to believe it. I'm still in love with this guy, and he called me like half a day after I wrote this post and asked to meet. I met him, and he said that he understood where I was coming from, but I was always too uptight to understand that friendship is friendship. He and Claire had known each other for years before I came into the picture, and I cannot expect him to just ruin their dynamic. I asked him what sort of dynamic was red lingerie. Why couldn't it be literally any other type of clothing? He told me he had it with my insecurities, and that he and Claire talked and apparently I was making them sound like cheaters and homewreckers, and that he thought it was better I find someone like me, who thought the idea of a fun night was junk food and a movie indoors. That hurt a lot. He had always known I had insecurities about being called boring. He always complimented me on how his weaknesses were my strengths. Now he says things like this to me? Also, before the lingerie fiasco, I never said a word about his and Claire's friendship. I always supported his pranks and practical jokes no matter what my opinions on them because I thought it was his business what he did with his hobbies. And he leaves without even putting up a fight because his girlfriend didn't want him giving lingerie to the woman he constantly refers to as his sexy bestie? Claire didn't call or text after the breakup either, but Kyle did and said that he was sad that we broke up and he hoped I would be okay in the future. I asked him if my boyfriend ever cheated on me. He said that my boyfriend had only been a one-woman man when he was dating me, but he could understand that some women can't handle female best friends, especially if they look like Claire. I told him to F off and blocked him. It felt like he only wanted to gloat and hurt me because my boyfriend left. I feel like I never knew these people. Claire and Kyle were always at least decent to me, if not nice. Did it make me a free target now that my boyfriend has been telling his friends that I'm an insecure child? I don't know what to do now. I've been told repeatedly by both my friends and sister that I dodged a bullet, but I've been breaking down like a kid again and again. I'm even thinking of going to therapy after feeling the most insecure I've felt in my whole life. Thank you to all who were supportive. It seems like my now ex-boyfriend just did the work for me. Let's get some other thoughts from the community. First one, note how he never addressed the red lingerie and what kind of prank that could possibly be. Just threw a hissy fit about it and blamed you. Never answered the question. You did dodge a bullet. One other comment, you did the right thing. You know how I'm sure? Look at how he talked to you when you were breaking up, insulting you in ways he knew were the most hurtful he could. Trash talking you to all his friends. That is who he is. Those are his true colors. He was only masquerading as a nice guy. Better for you to find out now than years down the road when you, God forbid, got married and he's actually banging Claire behind your back. You will need time to mourn. But remember, you are mourning the man you thought he was. The real him isn't worth mourning. And yes, absolutely go to therapy. The fact that he and his pals are now acting like you're the villain in their epic prank saga just goes to show how right you were to leave them in the dust. Nothing says, I care, like a backhanded compliment and a side of gloating. Block them all and save yourself the trouble. Let's face it, if he's insulted you in ways he knew would cut the deepest, you've got your answer. You're better off, OP. Do you have a similar story? What do you make of your partner having friends of the opposite sex? Let us know in the comments below. If you're wondering how someone goes from a stable life partner to a face-tattooed enigma overnight, up next is the full story. My fiancé got a face tattoo without talking to anyone. New update, 1 year later. I am honestly stunned right now. My fiancé, Kim, I have just learned is completely insane. She took some days off work this week, sick, and avoided seeing most people in person. She claimed she was feeling sick and just wanted to stay home alone. She has never given me any indication that she would lie about this in the 6 years we've been together. No one in her family had any worries because she was a stable individual who would never do anything crazy. She got a face tattoo. She took 3 sick days from work to recover from the fact that she got a face tattoo. She told no one of this plan beforehand. I have never in our time together been talked to about tattoos by Kim. She showed no indication that she was even interested in getting any. I was not even the first to learn. Her sister visited her because she got worried after Kim canceled meeting with her for lunch on her 3rd day sick and got the grand reveal. She didn't tell anyone beforehand because she didn't want to be talked out of it, and hid the results because the swelling and redness were so bad that we would react badly and not be able to understand the artistic meaning. Kim is Asian American. She got Japanese symbols going down her forehead and under her eye. I don't know the meaning of them. I really don't know if I care to know the meaning of them. Kim's parents are Japanese immigrants. According to her sister, who was nice enough to inform me of this whole debacle, this is a big no-no in Japanese culture. Tattoos have links to crime and are looked down upon. Her parents are beside themselves, and that is a whole other set of drama I can't even begin to approach. Kim talked to me last night about it and acted offended and started a fight because I told her it was absolutely insane of her to do this. She works a public-facing job. She talks face-to-face with clients in the financial industry. The minute her boss finds out, the career that she went to school for will be over. She actually didn't consider her job or family or me at all and decided a long time ago she was going to express herself freely without any concerns. I'm worried about her right now. This is not normal. She blocked my number after our fight and is ghosting me and her sister because we're trying to help out. But, dear Lord, this is far beyond me. I cannot comprehend what I'm even supposed to do right now. Kim's lost her mind. Is there any chance I will be happy married to this? A woman who went and got a face tattoo and hid that fact because she knew we would all talk her out of it? Dear Lord, I really need to run, don't I? Wow, this got some attention, huh? I read through the replies, but I can't really respond to all of you, so I'll just update here. The engagement is pretty much off. Kim has told me she never wants to see me again, and I woke up this morning with her ring and a box of stuff I gave her on my porch. I don't know what's going on with her. Her sister and family have been trying their best, but nothing on their end is working. I brought up to her sister the idea this is a mental breakdown, and they're looking into getting her help. It's painfully slow, considering Kim is not responding to anything and is refusing to talk to anyone. I really don't know what to say here, I guess. To answer some questions, Kim is 29 and I'm 28. In the 7 years I've known her, she has never acted like this at all. She had a good relationship with her parents, and while they were a bit overbearing at times, they supported her in going to college and getting a career rather than starting a family. From what I've gathered, they probably would have been fine with any tattoo that she got as long as it was not on her face, neck, or hands. Even then, this kind of behavior is as far from Kim as I could have imagined. She just lost her mind out of nowhere? It's not like I can do anything about it either. She's blocked my number and does not want to see me. I'm just at a loss for words. One day I'm engaged, and the next I'm not, and my ex has a face tattoo. You'd think after 7 years of knowing her, you'd be prepared for a surprise like that, but apparently nobody saw this one coming, not even Kim. The fact that she's ghosting you and her family is probably a sign she's deep into her personal freedom phase, one that's more like a what the hell was she thinking phase from your perspective. So yes, running might be your best bet. At the very least, you'll avoid any future arguments about whether the next tattoo should be a sleeve or full body art installation. Update 8 months later. About 9 months ago, my ex-fiancée, Kim, got a face tattoo without telling anyone. This was just the start of her doing everything she could to ruin her life. She broke up with me and called off our 7-year relationship when I questioned why she did this. She worked in a client-facing job for an incredibly large financial institution and was let go within a month of showing back up for work after getting this tattoo. I kept in contact with Kim's sister, hoping for some news. They tried to get her help, as they thought she was having some kind of psychotic break. However, she eventually called the police on her own family, claiming they were harassing her. After that, I decided to just walk away. Kim didn't just destroy her own life. When she broke up with me, I felt numb. I knew this wasn't Kim doing this. I wanted to believe deep down that Kim was always like this, always this impulsive, crazy, who would ruin her life by getting a face tattoo. I tried to convince myself that I had not lost a wonderful woman who I had spent 7 years of my life with. However, the person who made these choices was not Kim. The woman who told me over the phone she hated my guts for not supporting her. The woman who wrote that she hated me and only ever stayed with me out of pity, that was not the woman I asked to marry. That was not Kim. That was someone who I came to find out was having a mental breakdown. That resulted in months of bad decisions that will affect the rest of her life. The day I walked away and told her sister I could not deal with it anymore was the worst day of my life. It hit me like a train. The numbness and denial of what I had lost hit me all at once. I almost quit my own job and moved back home to my parents. I can only thank my boss for being so understanding that she let me take 4 weeks off to deal with what happened. She and the rest of my team went far beyond what should ever be expected of coworkers and management that it makes me realize how close I was to leaving a job I actually enjoy. I never moved on from Kim, but I came to accept what had happened. I thought I was okay until 2 weeks ago. I got a call from Kim. She had blocked my number and done everything she could to remove me from her life. My mind just blanked when I saw it was her calling. I picked up, and it was actually her. We didn't talk. I did not know what to say to her. We decided she would come over to my place, and we talked. The tattoo is still there, but she's covering it up now with makeup. She says when she has the funds, she's going to look into getting it removed if possible. She had lost a lot of weight since I last saw her. She's not been able to find a new job. She'll probably need to move to a new city for that. She wasn't the Kim I had fallen in love with. She was like a shell of her. Something just wasn't there anymore that it used to be. Kim told me what had happened. The year leading up to the tattoo was awful for her. The stress of everything seemed to pile up more and more. I'll respect her and keep much of what she told me secret. However, the thing that is important is that she secretly started doing methamphetamines to keep her performance up at work and to deal with everything. And one day, she just out of nowhere decided she hated everything about her life. She explained why at the time she wanted that tattoo. It doesn't really make much sense, but a lot of what she was saying at the time didn't. And from there, she just lost control of everything. I won't talk about what happened after she disappeared, but it is not pretty. There are things she did that will follow her for the rest of her life. It explained a lot, but it did not make things any better. We talked for nearly the entire night. She didn't leave my place till almost 4 a.m. Since then, she said that she wants to try and get back together with me. She admitted she knows things cannot be the same, yet she wants to try. I haven't talked to anyone about what I'm about to say yet. I've held off on talking to Kim about it because it feels selfish. But there's something about the way Kim acts about the way it affected my life that irks me. When we talked that night, she said that I was lucky she cut me off. I was lucky I didn't get put through any of this. I was lucky that my crazy ex wasn't at my door screaming or showing up to my work and causing a scene. She acts like my life wasn't affected at all. I told her what happened after she left, how much it hurt, how I almost quit my job and moved across the country. Her response was dismissive. Like because I didn't go through with that, I don't need to complain. She acted like because I was not the one with the tattoo on her face, I don't get to act like it had long-lasting effects on me. She didn't even apologize for the explicit and hateful note she left with my things when she returned them. Or for the phone call where she called me a manipulative, selfish a-hole who only wanted her for her body. Or even just for breaking up with me. She knows she was wrong to do it, but it's almost as if she's acting like because she had a breakdown, I can't hold her accountable for what she did to me because it was long-lasting. I texted her last night saying how hard it was for me even when she left. She ignored it entirely and tried to move on. No acknowledgement at all. I don't know why, but it hurt me. It hurt me so much. I feel like I did back when all those emotions finally hit me after she left. I wish she had just never come back into my life now. I wish I didn't know what happened. I wish I hadn't picked up the call, because it hurts. But a part of me feels like I'm being selfish or complaining too much, that I don't get to feel this way because I'm not the one who had the mental breakdown. Oh boy, she really went for the burn it all down strategy and decided to make it a full-on art installation in the gallery of poor life choices. She's still operating on a Kim-centric model of reality where your feelings are just an annoying footnote. If I were you, OP, I'd seriously reconsider any idea of rekindling things. Your life sounds like it's on a better trajectory without her face tattoo drama and crazy ex theatrics. New update. My ex died of a drug overdose, 1 year after her first update. I learned yesterday that my ex, Kim, died of a drug overdose Sunday. I'm still processing the news, I guess. We broke up 2 years ago after Kim got a face tattoo out of nowhere. I have some other posts on this account about that, if you really want the full story. Kim reappeared in my life about a year ago after going breakup with me and essentially becoming a ghost. She wanted to get back together with me, and I stupidly considered it and let her get the foot in the door. She claimed she was clean, but wasn't. It was obvious she was still using meth. My guess is she was still using fentanyl. After I finally decided to get back together with her, she slashed my tires after causing a scene in my office. Luckily, she's been out of my life for 6-ish months now, after some cop put the fear of God in her after she broke the restraining order. I've not heard much about Kim since then, thankfully. Last I heard, she was wanted on a warrant and was hiding low across state lines. Yesterday, though, Kim's sister came to me to let me know she was found dead Sunday morning. She wanted me to hear it from her instead of through the grapevine. I appreciate it, despite everything. Kim's family has been nothing but kind to me. Kim's parents are quietly cremating her, and there won't be any ceremony. Seems that stealing and abusing her family since she started doing meth has made them just as detached about her as me. Or maybe they've already mourned the loss of their daughter long ago, and now is just the end of whatever remained. Right now, I don't know how to feel. I feel like I should be sad. I knew Kim for 7 years. I was with her for 6. I was engaged to her. I lost my virginity to her. She was the first person I truly loved. I used to sit up with her and talk about the family I wanted to have. I wanted Kim to be the mother of my kids. Sat up with me as I cried when I heard the news of my mother's death. At one point in my life, she was the most important thing in the world to me. And I don't feel anything. When Kim left me, I was devastated. When she came back into my life, she made me feel a combination of emotions I can't even describe. And now, hearing the news that she's dead, I don't feel anything. I don't feel numb. I'm not in shock. I just am lacking any emotion towards this event at all. I feel like I should feel something, right? I still miss Kim. Not the Kim that died Sunday. Not the Kim that stalked me. But the Kim I met. The Kim I fell in love with. The Kim that died when she started to do meth. I still feel sad when I think about her. But knowing this other Kim is dead just makes me feel nothing. Your feelings, or lack thereof, might be the universe's way of letting you know that you're not only okay, but that you've successfully avoided the emotional wreckage she left behind. The Kim you remember and miss is like a ghost of a happier past. So, take this as a chance to keep moving forward, OP. If you need to feel something, maybe it's okay to just acknowledge that you've survived a pretty messed up chapter and are emerging stronger on the other side. What would you make of this? Would you have run for the hills? Thank you for joining us today in the rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you soon! And put that chair back where you found it.